Hi everyone, just going through the AI activity. So you could see here, this was the prompt that I used. Um, I also had attached our data points, PowerPoint, and also a PDF of that just to make it possible to read. So as you can see here, I just a told AI to see the attachments, look at the various data points gathered from our secondary research. Included after these yellow boxes and post-its, you'll find a section of blue boxes, post-it notes called insights. So I was trying to give generative AI possible cues. What insights are missing here? What can you distill from the yellow boxes, et cetera, et cetera? What are we missing? Or what have we missed that you may see as larger principles? We need perhaps 3 to 4 total principles to include in our informational magazine. So that was kind of the cue that I gave. And then this is sort of what it came up with. Obviously, things aren't as perfect as they need to be. So you need to keep cueing in. It gave us some insight that we have strong behavioral patterns, but could be extended into a few key areas connecting motivations, identity, contextual triggers. So this is kind of some of the advice it was giving. It gave some refined, expanded insights, suggested blue post-its, and then also distilled that into some larger principles for the suggested green post-its. And then really kind of broke that down into 3 or 4 unifying principles. Gives a nice little summary here. It asked me if it wanted me to do a visual one page. I said yes, and then I looked at it and really didn't like what it came up with. I shared this with Lucas, and we thought that some of the things that we had actually were a little bit better. But we did use some of what it came up with. You'll see here that we kind of further went down. Can you please create this image only with green principles? And then it did that green to blue. Um, and still kind of still not coming up with exactly what we wanted, but we're getting closer and closer. I said, I'm not liking these image, I'll do them myself, thanks. And then just kind of looking through, decided we still needed about 7 to 10 more suggested blue insights. And I copy and pasted in what 5 additional blue points, post-it notes they had originally given, to kind of break it down even further into 7 to 10 more. So we had a total of about 15. And this is what it came up with for those possible blue post-it notes, in terms of the possible insights. So it gave us 10 more. And I asked if it could kind of create a more visually appealing table to kind of make it a little bit more distilled for us to kind of think through what we already had. Um, and it added in some how might we questions. I don't think we'll use those, but that is what it is. And so that's kind of everything I did in AI with Lucas. And then kind of our process, we've been keeping everything sort of here in our Canva. And then, we started here, we sort of did it upside down. So then we started, putting our larger ideas and then our insights below that, and then all of our data points. So we've kind of been keeping like a draft here in Canva, but then what we've actually been doing, to kind of keep all of our thoughts organized, we've been putting it here in our PowerPoint. So we have here all of our data points for you. Then our insights. We've gone ahead and based on some of those 15 AI generated, looking at what we had and what it came up with, we picked some of the things that were sort of missing. So you could see some of our blue points here say AI generated. So we know that those are the ones that we gathered from AI. Same thing with our principles. So some of our AI generated over here, these are the ones we originally had. So now we have a nice basis for making some comparisons and deciding, where we really want to go with our magazine. And then instead of solutions, we've come up with calling it more suggestions and guidance. Since in our magazine, we don't want to say, here's your solutions, there you go, but this is what we suggest and how we would guide you. So we'll use the principals to write suggestions and guidance in the magazine. That's pretty much it. That's where we're going. Looking forward to seeing other people's ideas and hear what you think of ours. Thanks so much.